absolutely going to go for it. What's that number 1 spot? And contrary to previous years qualifying, we do have points allocated for qualifying. So, and I think that's going to play a big role because we've seen it come down to Irwindale so many times. Here goes Chelsea Nova, big, almost a little bit of a backy entry there. And now Chelsea hammering down into that first outside zone, then the second. So similar line to Oswald, you saw a handbrake pull there as well. Now coming to exiting out of the horseshoe, past the touch and go. Gang of smoke, man, holy cow. Using all of the course. That was that was the smokiest run we've seen so far. A great run there. Oh man, across the board?
That is a lot of throttle, Jared.
Thanks,
a
Ryan.
whole lot of throttle.
I think he zip-tied the gas pedal down.
Yeah, I think he just put it down.
And he cut it when he crossed the finish line. Yeah. Let's take a look at it again. Big angle there.
Angle coming through inside clip number 1. We didn't really talk about it this round. We didn't say no backwards entries, but he definitely came in there with a whole lot of angle. Coming through outside zone 2 here, you can see him pouring the angle on, getting himself set for inside clip number 2. Transitioning the car down the hill. Let's see where his bumper ends up. Right over the rumble strip. Beautiful job there. So precise. On throttle. No lifting from him. So let's watch a traditional replay now and see how it looks. Big initiation. You can see that angle, really well timed, really well positioned, and he managed to hold that angle through the inside clip 1 area, which is generally what we say, you know, if you try a big angle entry and you have to take angle out, it's going to, you know, really count against you. But he made it count, made it work, and as he's coming down the hill here, the car is really settled, and he disappears through his own smoke as he heads back down the hill towards inside clip 3 in the finish line. So really nice job from him, and I can't really fault him on angle anywhere, Jared.
No, that's I'm looking over your shoulder here, and yeah, that's across the board. But what's your take as far as you and the judging panel? He did have a lot of handbrake there on initiation. What's your assessment of that? Little, a lot? Like where does that kind of lie?
Well, it is a decel area, and it is an area where we understand that they need to get the car slowed down and control the angle of the car, and it's one that's expected. As long as they're back on throttle before inside clip 1, we like to see them really get back on throttle before that area to make it predictable for the chase car. 93, so doesn't get that, or no, tied with Matt Field, but it defaults to style, correct? So it does.
So I would assume that with that position 2, that because of Matt Field having a better style score, but still a great run for Chelsea DeNova.
Yeah.
For Chelsea DeNova and his Pennzoil Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Beautiful day out here again. Seems like it's changing every 5 minutes. A little warm, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. So it's changing as the day progresses on. But regardless, just don't want to see moisture out on the track. That's the only thing that will definitely slow us down here. So up next, again, Chelsea DeNova back up top of the hill. Round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Let's lay out and listen to the loud, proud Ford Mustang of Chelsea DeNova. Your number 2 qualifier advancing on. Who's he going against? Either Brandon Sorensen or Jonathan Hurst. Here's Chelsea DeNova and his Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Top of the hill, and that is Chelsea DeNova. Chelsea DeNova is going to be going against birthday boy Brandon Sorensen, who just turned 18 years old this last Thursday. Chelsea DeNova piling that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5. Brandon Sorensen in the United States Air Force, Sorensen Motorsports BMW. I think it should be a fun one. Kind of, you know, Chelsea just has gained so much equity over the years, and getting, you know, with every turn and burn, getting used to that RTR Mustang he has. I mean, he's a championship contender. Brandon Sorensen, you know, coming in just a few short years ago, and a real talent, somebody to watch. Here we go. Chelsea DeNova will lead. Now keep in mind, Chelsea, your number 2 qualifier, goes across the nose of that BMW, initiating into that first front clip. There goes DeNova, Brandon Sorensen. He tucks into that smoke of those Nitto tires, but he pulls away. Brandon Sorensen really lunging forward and does not get out to the outside zone 2, but he does allow, look at that proximity you see from Brandon Sorensen, but what, oh my goodness. Brandon Sorensen, the magician, absolutely disappears behind Denofa. Make some noise for Denofa and Sorensen.
Nice.
Watch this again.
Yeah,
yeah,
nice flick initiation from Denofa there, but then he has that long handbrake pull. Coming up the hill, he's on throttle, very committed. On the rumble strip at outside zone 1. Coming into outside zone 2. Could have been deeper in outside zone 2, but Sorensen's nowhere near it at all. So watching that initiation again, a little bit of a tap there on inside clip 1 from Denofa. Great job on zone 1. Could have been deeper in zone 2. Sorensen, of course, didn't, like I said earlier, didn't get near outside zone 2. Good job on inside clip 2 from both drivers. And then Denofa, nice job on the touch and go. Maybe a tire drop from both of them there on inside clip number 3 as they cross the finish line.
It did seem that on initiation, Chelsea had a little bit of correction there going into the inside clip. I think Brandon was far enough back where it didn't affect him, but that still just changes kind of the dynamics of the entirety of the run. And I did like how Brandon, you know, he knew he kind of got gapped there with Chelsea going to the inside outside zone 1. Brandon kind of accommodated for that and got closer to him. Not obviously as deep, but Chelsea didn't get exactly the deepest into outside zone 2. Here we go. Brandon Sorensen now out front. Aim high, Air Force high, into that inside clip. Oh man, that was interesting. I want to look at different angles of that initiation into that first outside zone, into outside zone 2. Brandon has been absolutely killing that outside zone 2. And now exiting out of the horseshoe. There goes Chelsea in his safe place, transitioning right there next to Brandon. I want to take a look. I hope we got a drone shot on initiation.
Watching right there, you can see Chelsea tucking right inside, right in that pocket right there. Did back off a little bit. So let's watch it again from a different view. So Chelsea's on the inside. You can see Brandon running over that inside clip, just like Chelsea did on his lead run. Both of them in outside zone 1. It looks like Brandon didn't get quite as deep as Denofa did in outside zone 2, but I think Denofa did a better job in the chase of mimicking Brandon's line. He was deeper, he was as deep as Sorensen was, whereas Sorensen in the chase wasn't as deep. And then coming down the hill, Brandon did put a tire on the rumble strip there, and both of them come across the finish line pretty cleanly there in that area.
Yeah, just the initiation was just weird, and I don't think it helped Brandon any. I mean, Chelsea got to be really close on proximity, but it seemed that Brandon kind of handbraked in and just kind of went parallel with that left-hand turn, and then just powered out of it. But love the way Brandon is progressing. So let's take a look at the BC Racing side-by-side instant replay. BC Racing custom coilovers go for gold.
Yeah, looking at both of these runs, just focus on the proximity, focus on the line that both drivers are running. It looks like Chelsea did go a little deeper in 2. And then right there on the transition, Chelsea's closer, Brandon's falling back a little bit. Look at Chelsea has more angle, definitely in the lead position on his lead run, and just cleaner, I think, in the chase position, car positioning, and mimic of the lead driver as well.
Okay, there is a side-by-side. Do we have a verdict? Waiting the outcome here between Denofa and Sorensen. And again, halfway through our top 16. Next up, we should be seeing Odi Bakshis and Kazuya Taguchi. Kazuya Taguchi, ISR Performance, Up Garage, GT Radial, 86.
I always find it interesting to look at the alignment on these cars and looking at Chelsea's car. We're pretty much dead center in the rear of the car, and you can see both front wheels because they're towed out, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see on an oval how crazy the rear is, and I think we have our...
So one more time and one more time. So one more time. And so Ryan Lontaine, you sided with Chelsea DeNofa. What's your reasoning there? You were outnumbered there. Majority rules, but
yeah, I went over it. You know, the outside zone 2, running the chase. So the lead, I think outside zone 2 was better from DeNofa, and then on the chase, I think his overall chase run was cleaner, better positioning of the car. And I think, you know, on the lead, they both hit inside. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see, the level of aggression and the driving at that high level of difficulty and making it work, staying sideways, staying close. It just seems like Oswald has a little more hunger this year. You know, the last round, he had a lot of hunger, clearly, but he overstepped that boundary and he got into the back of Matt Field. Here, he's able to control it a little bit more in terms of not affecting the lead driver while making an incredible run in the chase. That's phenomenal. We want to see more of that tonight.
Yeah, just that slight little nose cone on the front end of that Supra is what took Matt Field's Corvette into the wall in Long Beach. Here we go. This is the one more time battle between DeNofa and Sorensen. DeNofa out front again. It was 2-1. Chris Yule and Brian Eggert siding for a one more time. And big angle there. Look at going for the backy. Woo! Nice job there by Chelsea DeNofa. Watch Sorensen. So I think they tuned this thing up in between the battles. Into the front clip. Now exiting out those Type-S Mohawk lights. Bringing it on down in the smoke bowl. Oh, what's going on with DeNofa? Shuts it down. Was there contact?
It looked like DeNofa over-rotated coming down the hill. He loves to
over-rotated. I was looking with my naked eye because I was just looking at this, the bowl of smoke, but DeNofa over-rotates.
That's what it looks like. We'll have to see the replay here to be certain, but that's what it sort of looked like. Chelsea comes in with a huge amount of angle inside clip 1. Sorensen has a little bit of gap there, isn't running the same angle up the hill, but he uses that to get close to Chelsea. He misses outside zone 2 while Chelsea fills it nicely. Coming down the hill, watch DeNofa. He's on throttle, running big angle, and he just gets greedy. He ends up dropping a couple of tires there, and that's going to be really bad for DeNofa in the lead position. So that'll definitely be held against him in a pretty big way. And now we have the sweeper out there cleaning up the track to get some of the gravel off the track that he clearly brought on with him after that little off-course excursion. So Brandon Sorensen stayed out of the way. That's in no way any fault of his.
No.
He was trying to avoid any contact.
All right, so DeNofa, Sorensen, here's the second half of this battle, but DeNofa, and that's just, you know, I was talking to some fans out here, and they love DeNofa. I said, I think DeNofa's got what it takes, but unfortunately, just sometimes, you know, you take yourself out. That might be the case here for DeNofa, who's a very talented driver. But when you're going for it and you have this one more time, don't leave it in the judge's hands. Go for it. But it ended up biting him. So Sorensen, as long as he keeps it between the lines, rubber meets the road, this could very well be his victory and an entry for the birthday boy into Grade 8 territory going against Odi Bakshi's.
The pressure is on, Jared. I know that Brandon has been in motorsports for many years, different you know, disciplines. There we go. So, you know, he might have the mental fortitude to get through this.
Brandon Sorensen out front, Chelsea DeNofa in the chase position. The United States Air Force BMW comes in hot in that first front clip, takes it out. Now coming up the hill, look at DeNofa. Oh man, he has nothing to lose right now. He's gonna let it all hang out. Look at him just bouncing around right there in the rearview mirror. Brandon Sorensen trying to rattle Brandon Sorensen, but the 18-year-old driver powers through. And whoa, Chelsea DeNofa. And unfortunately, he goes out in a cloud of dust. Chelsea DeNofa, that'll be all she wrote for him, as Brandon Sorensen will get that victory. And I'll tell you what, that loud and proud Mustang in your rearview mirror, you're chatting in your boots, man.
Well, there's where that mental fortitude comes in that I was talking about. Brandon didn't skip a beat. You can see he just hit inside clip 1 right there, but DeNofa is right on him. Brandon does a great job on outside zone 1. Great job on outside, okay job on outside zone 2. Chelsea's right with him. Transition here. Nobody drops a tire coming out of the horseshoe. Beautiful job on the touch and go. And right here, Chelsea just over-rotates the car coming over the finish line, and that'll be an incomplete for him in the chase position.
And here we go with the outcome of this battle. DeNofa and Sorensen, sliding left for DeNofa, right for Sorensen. I believe you know the answer, and there it is. Brandon Sorensen gets the victory